Hi, thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. I am Ms. Litchfield. I'm one of the school counselors at Rama Road Elementary School. Our student services team had originally designated April as Student Safety Month. We had done this for a couple of different reasons. First is April is officially Child Abuse Prevention Month. Hopefully you were able to watch the Consent for Kids video and access the family talking points that were provided through the parent section of the Rama Road Facebook page. The other reason why we designated April as Student Safety Month is that as counselors, we were hearing from a number of students who were increasingly upset because of either scary or inappropriate content that they had accessed or been exposed to via the internet. So, this presentation was created to increase parent awareness surrounding issues with internet safety and also to provide some suggestions for keeping our students safe. Before I get started, I would like to give a shout out to Ms. Smith, our Dean of Students, who coordinated with me to put this presentation together. So here are just some basic facts about children and internet usage. All of the content delivered through this presentation came from web-based resources and research. The links are embedded into the presentation, although not into this particular video recorded presentation. Although you're unable to click on them here, a copy of the PowerPoint is located in the parent section of the school counseling webpage. When you access it from there, you will be able to click on any of the links to get more detailed information. So here are some issues related to kids and the internet. First, we have the cyberbullying issue, and this happens through social media. It happens through the interactive gaming apps. Sometimes kids will say and post things that they might not say in real life, and it can be in a very public format where lots of people are seeing and hearing what's being said. And then we have the cyber predators. You probably have seen lots of news stories regarding this. There are just some really bad people out there who use the internet to prey on children. Recently, I read an article about Roblox where children can create their own little avatars and walk around in their little virtual world. Unfortunately, there are adults who are creating their own avatars and then engaging with the students virtually in inappropriate ways through this game. We have the posting of private information, their actual names or addresses and phone numbers, making them vulnerable to people who might want that information. I think we are all at risk of accidentally downloading malware, clicking on the wrong thing, and then putting our devices at risk. There are plenty of online scams out there that can, again, be something that we all fall prey to, but kids are probably less likely to realize that something's a scam. And then when I was a middle school counselor for a number of years, I really saw this as being a major issue. Kids posting or sending things that were not appropriate, whether it be images or pictures, that could very much come back to haunt them later, whether it was in the next day or week or potentially down the line. When it comes to getting into a particular college, colleges do look at students' social media, so it's really important that kids understand the implications of what they post online. And then, as I referenced earlier, kids are accessing content that is really not meant for kids. You know, back in the day, I would kind of root through my parents' library to see what I could come across. And, you know, the worst thing I found was maybe Our Bodies, Ourselves, which I would take a look through. However, these days, kids can really access information about anything that's out there, whether it's just accidentally clicking on something or out of curiosity searching something. But there's just so many instances where kids are accessing information that just really was not meant for them. So, digital citizenship is basically the skills and knowledge that we all need to effectively use the internet and digital technology in a responsible way. And so, with CMS, all students K 12 do participate in digital citizenship lessons. And particularly at Rama, all grades participated between November and January. Our K1 students participated via a whole class format with Ms. Pritchett, and our students in second through fifth grade completed the coursework through Canvas. And they are able to go back into their Canvas account, which they access through PowerSchool, if you would like for them to review those lessons. And so just some general tips overall about the use of internet in your home in regards to your kids. It's really important that you establish some boundaries or ground rules around the use of the internet. For example, what is an acceptable time amount for kids to be online? What are you okay with them accessing? Which particular games or websites is okay? And then where your device can be used. It is recommended that you have kids use their device, whether it's a computer, a tablet, um, a smartphone, in a main area where you're able to provide supervision, for example, a kitchen, a living room, not back in their bedrooms. It is really important, like I referenced Roblox earlier, to research apps and games prior to allowing your child to download them. At the end of this presentation, there is a resource list, and the very first one that is listed, if you click on it, it's through the government and it's kind of a warehouse of all the different games and apps that are out there. If you click on a particular one, it'll explain how that particular game or app works, and then any kind of cautions that you would want to know about that. It's a good idea to check in with your child about how they're feeling after spending some time online. If they've just been exposed to something that they're feeling upset about, or there's some cyberbullying going on, they might be reluctant to let you know that that's just happened. And so, kind of checking in and kind of getting a feel for how they're doing once they disengage from being online, and then utilizing some online protection tools. In regards to cyberbullying, because that's one of the issues that we do see when it comes to internet usage, this particular slide pulls from the link that you see right there, the commonsense.org. And so if you do access this presentation through the school counseling website, you'll be able to click on that. But basically, they provided these tips regarding cyberbullying. And so, first is defining cyberbullying for kids, making sure that they understand what cyberbullying is. Basically, it's repeated and unwanted, mean, or hurtful words or behavior that occur online through basically text, social media, online chats, etc. They suggest that you check in about online life, just like you'd ask your child about their sleep, exercise, and eating. Stay on top of their online life. Who are they chatting with? How do people treat each other in the games or on the sites that they're using? Role play with your child. If kids feel like they might have trouble removing themselves from digital drama, experiment with some different ways that they can make a graceful exit. Talk through words they can use or ways that they can steer conversations in more positive directions when those kind of things are happening. Encourage upstanding. So let your child know that supporting a friend or acquaintance who's being bullied can make a really big difference. If they feel safe confronting the bully, they should. If not, a private message to the victim can be enough to help someone through a tough time. And speaking up against hate speech is important as well. Number five, taking some breaks. If you notice that your kid is getting pulled into digital drama, help them to take a break. It's great if they can determine for themselves when they need to step back, but they might need some help setting those limits. Putting devices to bed at a specific time, plus making sure that you include breaks for meal times and face to face connections, can help your kids recharge as they disengage. And then number six, review worst step scenarios in the event that your child is actually experiencing cyberbullying. So, first, letting them know that it's important to step away. Ignoring a bully can be very effective. However, if the bullying continues, making sure that they take a screenshot or print out the evidence and then block the person. If it gets worse, making sure that they know who are some trusted adults that they can go to report the behavior. And so these are some tips for online privacy. Make sure that your child knows the difference between what's okay to share, for example, what their favorite sport is or their favorite food, And then what is actually private, their real phone number, their home address should never be shared. Teach them that just because something fun or cute pops up on the side, that you don't want to go ahead and just click on that, because that's where you can go ahead and get that dangerous stuff on your computer or grant someone access to your computer, who could then using it for bad purposes. And always to be keeping their passwords private. This is another thing that I saw pretty frequently as a middle school counselor, where kids would be best friends with someone, share their password, and then a few days later, when they were not best friends anymore, that was used in bad ways against them. So that was just a little bit of the research that's and resources that are out there online. Here are some more resources that you are able to go ahead and access in order to help keep your child safe online. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day.